I'm super excited to talk about this product today. This is a first look at the Avast Marine Works auto top-off system. It's called the Parrot and it looks really awesome. Now when you receive the Parrot from Avast Marine Works, you're going to get the switch box, which is what this is right here. You are going to also get a magnetic sensor holder, and that's this part right here that's going to magnetically attach the sensors to your aquarium. This is a really unique sensor setup for your aquarium. You're going to get water connection tubing, so it comes with the black tubing already. So you have this tubing as well, and you also have the anti-siphon bulkhead, and then you have a few extra fittings to attach this to your liking. So we're gonna set this up on the 125-gallon reef tank. I'm gonna put this down in the sump. Now, what's really cool about the Avast Marine Parrot is that there are different ways to use it depending on your auto top-off needs. You can use it to hook up to a pump like this one that I have here. You can hook it up to like a CJ pump. You can also hook this up to a tank controller, like if you have the Neptune Apex or the GHL products or any other tank controller device, you can plug right into this and set up your auto top-off needs. So with all the different ways to handle automatic top-off for your aquarium, the Parrot's got you covered. Okay, so what have I been using for my auto top-off solution for the 125? Well, I've been dosing Kalkwasser to the system, and I've been doing that at a little over 3,700 milliliters a day. And it doses 13 times a day. I'm using the Sentia doser from Aquavitro. So the way I'm gonna incorporate the Parrot from Avast Marine is I'm gonna lower the dosage of the dosing pump to around 3,400 mLs per day, and then the auto top off is gonna fill in the rest. So that's gonna help with any fluctuations in evaporation throughout the day. Some days you evaporate more, some days you evaporate less. So the auto top off is actually going to help balance that out. So utilizing an auto top off plus the dosing pump to meet the needs of my aquarium is going to keep not only the water line in the sump at the right place at a more constant level, it's also going to keep the salinity of the reef aquarium much more stable. All right, so along with the new name, the Parrot ATO from Avast Marine, comes more sensors. So you're getting more sensors with this auto top-off solution. So with these pressure tubes here, the way that it works is when your water starts to evaporate, it's going to activate the switch telling your pump to turn on. Now, when your pump is pumping water into your aquarium and it refills your reservoir or your sump, the rising pressure is going to signal to the switch to turn off the pump. So that's how these pressure sensors actually work. Now, there's redundancy included into this system as well, which is something that I really like. So you have the primary sensor here. This is the longest one that's going to be at the lowest level of your water line. And then you have your secondary sensor here, which is 1 inch above your primary, which makes it a reliable backup. And then you have the float valve right here on your water line. This is gonna be your redundancy system to prevent overflows in your system. So you have your primary, your secondary, and your emergency. Okay, so the first thing you wanna do after you remove these little zip ties and you free the tubing here is you want to go ahead and connect this to the switch box. Now, the way you do that by taking the ends here, all right? So you want to take these two ends and we're going to plug them right up into these spots right here, the sensor spots. So I'm going to take this and push it in right here. You just want to make sure that there's no gap right here. You want to make sure that these are nice and flush. There's no gaps right here, and everything fits perfectly. All right, so the switch box is ready. Next, you want to attach the water line to the sensor mount just above the float valve. You'll see the spot to attach that, and it's really easy. You just simply screw that piece in and make sure it is connected like so. And once you have that attached, this part of the ATO system is ready to go. So I'm going to go ahead and place it down in the sump where I want my water line to be. Okay, so I have all of that in place. Next up, I need to set up the pump that's going to move the water from my water reservoir to the sump. And I have a C-shape pump here, and this pump, first we're going to put on the suction cup legs here. Feet are ready, pump is ready. Okay, so the last thing we need to do to get this all set up is we have an anti-siphon bulkhead right here, and then we have this piece of tubing that's going to fit right on top of the pump, just like this. Perfectly fits on top. All right, so what we're going to do to install the anti-siphon bulkhead is we're going to find a piece of tubing, go above the water line, and we're going to cut it right here and put this in between. Get a nice clean cut, and then we're going to take this anti-siphon. We take the nice anti-siphon quick connect that to one side. Then you'll connect the other side right here, but I'm going to install it into the reservoir right now. Okay, so now I'm running the tubing up through my auto top-off container and lowering the pump down. So an important note when hooking up your anti-siphon bulkhead, you want to make sure that you put this inside your container, because there is a small hole in this bulkhead that breaks the siphon. You also want to make sure that the hole is covered whenever you are tightening or loosening the nut on the bulkhead. And you want to place this inside your auto top off reservoir, because as it breaks the siphon, there will be some water that comes out of the bulkhead, and so you want to make sure that it's in your container so it doesn't leak all over the floor. And you want to install this above the water line in your auto top off reservoir. You don't want this to ever become submerged in your water, so you want to make sure you install it above the water level in your ATO. So in my case, I'm not filling up my ATO container all the way to leave room at the top for this anti-siphon bulkhead. Okay, so the next thing to do is to plug in the switch box, and you'll see the green light here indicating that the sensor is telling the pump to fill up your sump. So just adjust your sensors and your water level before you plug in the pump for your ATO. Then you can plug in the pump to the outlet on the switch box and you will be good to go. So that's a quick look at the Avast Marine Parrot auto top off system. I'm excited to have it on my tank. I will do a full review in an upcoming video, but if you've enjoyed this video, go ahead and click or tap your screen to watch this video right here. I know you're going to love it. Thank you so much for liking, commenting, and subscribing. I'll see you next time on the Coral Reef Talk.